Welcome into the doors of psychic experience and star people. Thank you for tuning in. Ask and you will be given what you asked for. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened. For everyone who asks receives. Anyone who seeks finds. If only you will knock, the door will open, and the truth within your higher self will be revealed to you. Come with us now and go with us where angels come, and so can you.
Welcome to our show, Psychic Experience and Star People, being presented by the First Spiritualist Church in the City Heights area of San Diego, 1 block south of University Avenue, where angels come and so can you any Sunday. I am the host, co-producer, Reverend Doris Horvath. We have in the contents of our show metaphysical, spiritual, and educational topics. If you are looking for a church that has unusual vibrations, the First Spiritualist Church may be your answer. We have very different approach to religion. We believe in the life after death, communication with spirit, and again, life after death, and many other options that you could find very intriguing and interesting, a chance to learn more. Our church is also a healing and teaching church. Every Sunday morning we offer aura healing, spiritual music, and interesting and enlightening lectures, followed by spiritual psychic messages to those in the audience. In the afternoons, we have more. We have a delicious luncheon. We can have workshops, classes, and Reiki healing, and more. Sometimes we have movies. There's a lot more if you're looking for something different than the fundamentalist churches. This may be your answer. We also have a children's lyceum. The first Sunday of each month starts right before the worship service and goes all the way till 12:15. So as you can see, we're located in the City Heights area. I can't give you the address, but you can find it in the telephone book. It's very easy to find. Just remember the First Spiritualist Church while I'm talking to you right now. Now we have very interesting, well-known, special guests on our show that talk about metaphysical and spiritual topics. The show is very spontaneous. Anything happen, and usually does. It just happens the way Spirit wants it to happen, and that makes it even more exciting and interesting. Today, our special guest is Scott Masters. I would like you to hear him introduce himself. He's going to say hello here, and then after that, I'm going to go into an in-depth biography about him so you'll get to know who he is. So Scott, go ahead and say hello to the TV audience.
Hello.
Okay.
Thanks for having me here.
Well, I'm happy you could do it. I'm going to read for you now his bio. Scott Masters is a serologist, crop circle researcher, and spiritual life coach, is a visionary, mystic, metaphysician, avid seeker through a variety of meditation techniques. Speaker and writer, he has been on a spiritual path for over 20 years. He works with the 5th and 6th dimensions on a path of ascension. He has been awakened into higher dimensions and activated through profound and deep connections with crop circles for the past 4 years. The crop circles are tools for personal and planetary association. God investigates theories on how they are made. what happens in a crop circle, and the possibilities of communing and connecting directly with the circle masters, or we could call them light weavers, as he likes to call them. He has a favorite quote that he would like you to hear. Crop circles are the great mystery of our time and deserve our full attention as to what they may mean about the nature of who we are and where we are going. I believe they are messages of profound meaning, with codes and keys to higher knowledge and to our future. They are geometric designs of perfection, a universal language for all of us to decipher together. Scott wants everyone that's watching today that he does PowerPoint and slide shows. He does these presentations in the San Diego area where he's now living. Now, Scott, you have brought with you some very interesting pictures. I am going to be talking with you as I ask questions of you. You're going to be showing which ones you would like to refer to. So the first one here I would like to ask is, what are crop circles?
It's a great question. A lot of people have a lot of interesting responses to the circles. In photograph number 1, you'll see really designs of geometric perfection that come through.
Can you point to us for us?
Yeah, number 1 here. Photograph number 1 is really a description of, it shows just how many and different styles of the circles there are. And it's really about the flattening of the wheat. It has to do with the carving out. It happens in wheat, barley, canola, oat, rye, and other cereal crops. So anywhere you have a cereal crop, you're going to find some crop circles. And it really has to do with, you know, looking at this geometric pattern that comes in. A lot of sacred geometry comes in, and we're dealing with a great mystery here.
Okay. What is a serologist and the benefits of being a serologist?
A serologist is a fancy word for a crop circle researcher.
Okay.
But on the other side of that, what it really means is that there's a mystery behind the circles, beyond the hand of man. And that's really ultimately what a serologist is finding and seeking and studying, is to find out what that mystery is.
Trying to find out what the truth is about.
Exactly. Yeah.
How are genuine crop circles different from man-made ones?
Yeah, and number 2 here, you've got a photograph of a man-made circle, and you can see the symmetry is quite a little bit lopsided, and there's not a whole lot of precision there. Just so everyone knows that these are tram lines over here, and they go along the ends here. And that's about 60 feet, sometimes 80 feet that will come. So you can often measure a crop circle when you look at the tram lines.
Well, it's pretty simple as to what other crop circles I've seen.
Exactly, yeah. Man-made circles generally do tend to be more simple. They don't have the precision, and the technology is the most important thing. A man-made circle does not have this special technology, which is very mysterious, which we can talk a little bit now here on number 3.
Okay, what is physically happening in a crop circle?
Yeah, the most powerful evidence of something strange and mysterious going on is that there's a microwave technology. This is actually a 90-degree bend that happens, and the wheat continues to grow. It continues to actually thrive once it's bent. And they do not know where this technology comes from. No one knows. It's technology beyond what we can currently understand. So that's the first thing that happens, is the wheat is bent. In the next picture, we've got a little bit more detail on what happens, which is the seed heads. I've seen pictures of the actual crop growing in a much more rapid, much more fruitful way. They become a lot more rigorous, healthier, and more nutritious. So it's kind of like super seeds. They become more alive. They become actually more nutritious. And a couple other things is that because of the heat, the intense heat that happens, the actual earth becomes hardened. The actual earth becomes hard. And it's a very unusual phenomenon because it's actually moist and wet. When before the crop circle happens, it's actually moist and wet. Once the crop circle happens, it's hardened. And there's 17 of these biophysical changes that happen. So if anyone thinks that man is making these and they don't really do any more research, they can find out that something profound is actually happening during the actual process of the making of the circle.
I understand that crop circles, the making of them happens in a few seconds. As to how long would you say a man-made crop circle would take?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Quite a bit of time.
Man-made circles have taken well over 24, 48 hours, and sometimes up to a week. And they don't happen at night. Yeah, most of the circles happen
Because
during
they
the
want to
middle of
see
the
what
night.
they're doing, where otherwise it's not needed to be able to see.
In a few
Because they
seconds
have another way of lighting the area.
they happen very fast. That's why very few people see them. That's why there's a lot of circles. In fact, we'll go over that too.
Okay. Well, actually, how many crop circles have appeared and keep appearing each year?
Well, since the 1980s, 10,000 crop circles have appeared, and more are growing every year. It happens in more and more countries in the world. Right now, every season produces a whole new style. Sometimes there's themes. Last season, there were more animal forms than ever before. But how many? Usually in the hundreds per year. And since 1980, we've had 10,000 reported circles. Now, that's not even the unreported circles. That's the reported circles. And now, since we have photography so expanded, everyone can take a picture with their cell phone. Now we even have more ability to track them.
Were there any records in the ancient cave drawings and paintings of crop circles?
That's a great question. They have become like crop art. The hieroglyphs, the petroglyphs are more simplified. Crop circles tend to be very, very intricate. So I would say crop circles are just another level of production of, symbols, symbology, more complicated.
Where do most crop circles appear? Or where do they appear?
Yeah, they happen all over the world, but mostly within southern England. Number 6 here, we've got a picture of, there's Stonehenge in the background. That's
Yes,
the famous
I see
stones. So within the Stonehenge picture, there is a 200-mile radius where 90% of all the crop circles happen. So southern England is where 90+% of all crop circles happen. And of course they have wheat fields there that are extravagant. They've been happening there since the very beginning of the 80s. Now 1980 is when this phenomenon really became known. Before that, it was not very known. So, and they're happening right now in every part of the world, mostly in England, in Europe. And there's few in the United States, not many in the U.S., but there are reported some here in the U.S. Not as extravagant as the ones in England.
Sounds like Stonehenge has a lot of power even yet to have all this happening in that area.
I believe the ancient energies there are strong, and the patriarchy obviously has been part of England for a long time, and some people say the circles are there to kind of shake up the patriarchy. And we're witnessing profound changes in the style of crop circles and the complexity every year. They seem to get more complex. They're more fourth dimensional now. They've become where you can actually have an altered state experience looking at a crop circle. And before they were more 3D, and now they've become more fourth dimensional, and that's a very exciting field.
Well, maybe it has to do with our going to the fourth dimension of consciousness.
That's a great point. They are evolving as we human beings are evolving, yes.
When do crop circles appear? Is it seasons, time of the day? What would you say?
The circle makers really know how to produce crop circles when there is a full ripening of the crop. So they happen from April till about August or September. Every year you'll see a season, and it really happens within that time frame. And when they are developing and they're first starting, they don't usually do any circles at that time. So the circle makers know, and they're intelligent. They have a plan to have this happen really during that period between April and September.
That's intriguing to know. Think about farmers in that area. How do they feel about having all this activity? And I'm sure a lot of people want to go look at it too.
Yeah, the farmers are. It's a mixed bag. They can react. They can mow their crops down immediately. There is sometimes fear and anger about their crops being messed with, and then sometimes they bless the field as if it's happening ordained from the skies, and they have more of a value of what's happening, and some of them charge a little bit of money, and some of them really feel blessed, and others feel cursed. So it's a real mixed bag.
Does the news get involved with the crop circles in England very much?
They do, but not on a regular basis. I would say irregular. When there's certain circles that are made, they're there. It's kind of irregular, but they do take notice to some of the circles. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. Who is making these crop circles, and why are they doing it? And also, the balls of light. I mean, one of your photographs here, number 8, has balls of light around it too.
Yes. Yeah.
Number 7 is, I've seen that quite a few places, and pictures, cards, and that's a very intricate one.
Who is making it is the $10,000 question for today. And we don't have a definitive answer. There's theories. There's theories of wind vortices. There are theories that animals do this, Mother Earth and Gaia producing this. I have pictures where they show actual star dust that actually is on the wheat, and it's meteor deposits. And that's very exciting to me, because then we realize that something greater is happening. Generally, then, the ball of light theory is that light is creating this, and that there is technology that is off-world technology. And it's my belief that we are dealing with very mysterious forces that are creating this. And why they're creating this, I do believe it's preparation. I believe we are being prepared. I believe we're being initiated. My experiences of crop circles have been about DNA activation and coming more alive with the circles. They represent an intelligence for us to tap into. I believe we're all seeking a bigger picture, and for me the crop circles they're connecting me with a bigger picture. And a lot of people that study these and connect with these have some very profound experiences of connecting with that larger picture.
Have you yourself walked around inside of a crop circle and noticed that you feel differently?
My experiences are more astrally. I've had some profound experience in remote viewing and going to the circles, and I've had physical changes in my body happen because of the crop circles. And it can be a little overwhelming. I've had a little bit of overwhelming feeling sensations. Again, I do a lot of meditating on the circles. I do prayer work around it. I do a lot of inquiry questions. I'm really asking for direct contact with these.
Do you feel like you're getting direct contact and you're getting some answers?
At times I do. When I'm sleeping outside, and I spent 6 weeks outside in deep communion, working with Native American spirituality and working with, connecting to my breath and doing breath work. I've had some very profound experiences with the crop circles and activations. So, yeah.
What do Indians think about crop circles, or American Indians?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Well, I think they've always been connected to higher beings and higher intelligence, and I think they're on board with the movement to have mankind be connected to those forces. So I think they're right in alignment with them. In fact, many of the star people have connected with indigenous Indians. We talk about the Syrians, and the Pleiadians. They've had connections for a very long time. At least they claim that, and I believe that.
Okay. Now, this is a big question. What is the meaning and mystery of it all?
Well, the nice thing about that question is that I won't have it alone, but we're here to discover it together. And the mystery is there may be technology that we're going to have through this, which I've been told. I believe the most important thing about the mystery is that we are going through changes. Earth changes are happening, human beings are being altered, our frequencies are being altered, and these crop circles are assisting that. And so the meaning of it is that we are being helped. That's my profound belief, that we are being assisted. When I look at these circles, the intelligence, the design, the perfection, the beauty, all of it is inspiring to me and makes me more alive and makes me want to believe in a higher power greater than myself and move out of just my ego trying to live my life.
Now we have a last crop circle over here. It's number 8. And we need to zoom in on this because this is super unusual. And there are also some light balls in the picture too.
Yes. The ball of light theory is very important. There's a whole team of scientists called the BOL team. They go out and they study the geophysical changes that happen, the biophysical changes that happen, and they really understand that something really profound is happening. And the ball of light theory is that these balls come down from either ships or independent of ships, and that they are able to create these crop circles in a very fluid way, in a very fast way, and in a very profound way, because they make changes that are lasting. These crops end up being changed even the previous year. They are even altered after the season ends. You can see changes happening the next season. And that's very profound to me.
To me, being an artist who tries to personify almost everything, it almost looks like this crop circle represents some sort of a human, a being, a light being.
Many circles represent many things, and I believe it's mysterious, but it's also personal. I think we can find meaning within the circles, and there are 10,000 circles for us to find different meaning from all of them.
What is your most exciting thing that have happened to you since you've been researching crop circles?
I would say my third eye going wide open and having visions and having my chakras be opened. That to me is very confirming and affirming. It's all about spiritual growth. I've always looked for tools for spiritual growth. So to me, the continual exercise of working with the circles does open my chakras, and I believe my DNA is being altered as well. Now that happens at times. My energy is being sped up, and other times it's more dormant. There's different periods where I go through greater activation and periods where it's more dormant. I always like the times when it's being activated profoundly, but I'd say the activation and the chakras being opened are the most exciting thing for me.
So you really notice that intensely?
I do. Now I meditate, and I do a lot of connecting with different forms of spirituality that assist the process as well. The circles are assisting in all of the.
Have you ever had the strong feeling that you need to write things down that you pick up, that you're being told messages?
I do recording of my voice, and I really have begun to log what is happening to me. And it is getting more deeper. I'm going deeper with this process. And I feel it's progressing in changing me and making me more attuned to the future, attuned to energies. My own sensitivity is getting stronger, and yeah, all of it.
Have you ever been an abductee?
Personally, I feel contactee is a better word, but not abductee, no. And I feel like I've been contacted in altered states.
Okay.
So. And just to let people know, there's the theory that the Sirians and the Pleiadians, that there's a collaboration going on I tend to think of that's more accurate, that we have a group of beings that are assisting us in this process.
So you haven't been microchipped yet?
Not that I know of. It's possible, but not that I know of. No.
This is so interesting. I know you're going to write a book. You're getting ready for that.
I do, yeah. I've started different seeds of that happening, yes.
Okay. Well, there's a lot more things that we could get into, but I'm so happy that you came on. And I want to thank our crew for being there for us. And I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to meet you this way. And I really wish you the best in your progress with all of this. And I'm sure that when you write a book, it's going to be way up there.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on.
So we want to say goodbye for now. You can find the church's phone number at the end of the show, so get a pencil, pen, some paper. Get ready to write down the church phone number. That's how you can find out more. I relay that message to Scott Masters, and I will give you his phone number if you request it. But otherwise, I can't give it to you. But you can go to the First Baptist Church. They're in the phone book. You can call, and then you'll get an answer. There's always more to know for something like this. And God bless you. Thank you for watching. This was show 119. Bye-bye for now.